Hello there, people of the internet. It's frosty out here right now. Oh, it's cold, but I'm gonna come out here and make a video anyway. So this is my 1944 production Car 98. It is ironic that I am using this right here while wearing this jacket, but hey, the irony is not lost, and this is Florida. That said, this is not a cheap rifle, and the ammunition it takes is not cheap either. If you want to help support my work, links to Utreon and Patreon are in the description below. That will definitely help me make more content more often, and better content. That said, speaking of not cheap ammunition, I want to talk about the stupidity behind buying ammunition like surplus ammunition that you know is not going to work. A lot of times this stuff comes onto the market and people will pick it up because it's significantly cheaper than the competition. And then you take it out to the gun range and you get click, bang, click, click, bang, click, bang. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate duds and hang fires. They definitely are not fun whenever it comes to using those on the gun range. We have this one particular cow that's deciding to be adventurous and come explore over here. He's probably gonna turn around whenever I start firing. But I myself have gotten my hands on plenty of surplus ammunition over the time. And in one particular case, one thing comes to mind. I remember I got my hands on some Ethiopian ammunition, and that stuff was all like most of them were duds. And very, very seldomly did we get one to actually fire, but when they did fire, it was hang fires. And that was fine and dandy for out here on the gun range, and I got to get it, make a video on it, and it was content, so that was a plus for that. And I was able to warn people about what to expect whenever it came to that ammunition. I never understood the concept of spending like slightly less to get something that won't even work. Like, think about it. If you're going to drop, just rough examples here, if you're going to drop 40 cents on some ammunition, like 40 cents per round, instead of getting yourself, modern production 50 cent a round ammunition, and you get the 40 cent ammunition because it's cheaper, but it doesn't work, you may as well have not gotten anything, right? Well, a lot of people will argue, what if you break it down and, use the components? Well, at that point, if you're spending 40 cents for the ammunition, I mean, what are you going to get off of that? You're not going to use the primer. You'll have to go out and get yourself primer. That adds cost. You'll have to get yourself powder. You don't want to reuse that 60, 70, 80-year-old powder if you're going to reload your ammunition. So you'll have to replace that. You won't be able to use the brass casing because so many of them are Burdan primed, and you can't reload that stuff, not easily anyway. I mean, you can use the bullet, but at that point you're paying 30 cents a round for full metal jacket bullets, and you can get that for way, way cheaper if you just get yourself the projectiles. Like, in terms of cost effectiveness, if you're getting ammunition that does not run specifically just to break it down and use it as components, you're going to be spending way more money on that ammo than you would be just buying actual factory produced legitimate ammunition that will fire, even though it's going to cost you a little bit more. Now, if you're running it in a bolt action rifle, that's not really that big of a deal. You can, click, nothing happens. You can sit there and wait for it, sit there and wait to see if it's a hang fire, then you can cycle it. But a lot of times whenever you get a click, bang, the pressure curve of this decomposing powder will be different than it was originally designed to be. Like, for example, Turkish 8mm Mauser ammunition. And it burns at hotter pressures than it's supposed to. Well, if you have a semi-automatic designed to cycle with a specific pressure burn, and you throw hotter ammunition into that thing, it's probably going to break the gun because it's not designed to run at those pressures or with that pressure curve. And you deciding to skimp out and cheap out on your ammunition, you might find that your firearm is actually destroyed, and the next thing you know, your, I don't know, $1,500 Hakim or insert semi-automatic 8mm Mauser rifle here, your very expensive, very nice rifle has been destroyed because you didn't spend the extra 10 cents on proper ammunition for it. Or a better case scenario, you don't destroy your gun, but you go out to the gun range with this ammunition and you load it into your rifle and you get click, nothing. All right, cycle, click, nothing, like Ethiopian ammunition. That stuff way more often than not is going to be duds and hang fires. It just was not stored properly. Occasionally, Egyptian ammunition will run all right-ish if you get yourself a heavy firing pin spring, but some are just not worth saving. So since I have a bunch of cows right there, I'm actually gonna unload into this pile of dirt right here as opposed to the car, just so I don't get a ricochet that goes off into the cow field. So let's see, where's my projectiles? These right here are modern projectiles, and the reason why I went with modern projectiles in this particular case is because these are non-corrosive, and with them being non-corrosive, I don't have to clean this rifle. A lot of your surplus ammunition is going to be corrosive, so you want to thoroughly clean your rifle after firing that stuff. I don't have to do that with this stuff. This is non-corrosive 158 grain full metal jackets. I can't remember the company that made it, but I think it's Heritage Cartridge Company, if memory serves me properly. But like I said, can't fully remember, not like it really matters. All right, actually I'm gonna put a round in the dirt. I wanna see what kind of hole these 198 grain full metal jackets make. Oh, well, that wasn't very impressive at all. Oh, I gotta save that brass, this is reloadable. Man, that cow just does not care that I just launched some 8mm into the dirt. Let's send another round here. That was entertaining. That's a big old pile of like dirt and leaves and whatnot, so it exploded pretty damn decently whenever I hit it. Let's send another round at it, because I just so happen to have another round here. Man, that is cool. 198 grain full metal jacket. That's a serious cartridge right there. Anytime somebody gives me an excuse as to why they bought like very crappy ammunition, surplus ammunition, whether or not it's like French ammunition or 8mm Mauser or some 7.62 by 54 rimmed or whatever surplus ammo it is that you have, whenever they tell me they bought this for, you know, because it was cheap, and I'm like, great, it doesn't work though. Why spend the money on it? Well, it just does not make sense, especially if you're gonna spend the money on this ammunition and you're not a reloader. Like, if you're gonna spend the money on the ammo and you don't know how to break it down, use it as components, I mean, hell, if you don't have the leftover brass cases from before, like, for example, I'm saving these brass cases here so I can reload them, probably with some leftover components from the garbage ammo that I've bought over the years. In my particular case, it makes sense because I run a YouTube channel and I can make content on it. I'm like, okay, let's see how well this particular stuff runs. And then I bring it out here, doesn't run at all, and I'm like, okay, heads up, this stuff does not work, don't buy it. But of course, my opinion is just my opinion, and there's a lot of people out there that aren't gonna listen to it, and they'll go out and they'll buy themselves 1,000 rounds of the cheapest stuff that they can find, even if it won't work. So that's just the name of the game. There will always be people out there willing to pay less to get nothing. So thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share, description down below, link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day, and I'm eager to see what people have to say about this one, because it's a controversial topic. Personally, I say don't buy ammo if you know it's not going to work. I've passed up Ethiopian stuff. Like, the first batch I got, that was it, and I have not touched it since. I don't care how cheap it is, unless it's like 5 cents a round, which it will never be. But if it's like 5 cents a round, then I can break it down and get the bullets out of it for reloading components for cheaper than I normally could buy just regular bullets. But like I said, that's not going to happen. You guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next video. Man, the cow herd has just absolutely moved in. I'm shooting guns over here. What, does 8mm Mauser not scare you? Does the loud, thunderous roar of my Car 98 not make you want to run? Man, these cows are just so complacent. Well, may as well start naming them. That one's T-bone, that one's McDouble, that one's ribeye. Oh God, where's a cute one? I know I saw a baby one around here earlier. I'm gonna name the baby one Hamburger. Okay, all right, bye guys.
I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. The poor man's Garen. It's a shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.